Y'all, I've got some great, credible UFO sightings for you today and some interesting UFO news, including Trump talking about the New Jersey UFO UAP incident. And what he had to say was very interesting, actually. But let's start with the sightings, starting with one that was posted by Ronnie Vernat that was allegedly leaked by someone close to the military family in Brazil. This is actually fascinating, and I find it super credible because it's an older sighting. It's actually 50 years old, but not only that, it was on a Super 8 film that had to get developed, so they couldn't fake it on the Super 8, which is even crazier because this thing looks kind of cool. To quote Ronnie Vernat, after almost 50 years, finally, frames of a Super 8 film recorded by Brazilian Air Force were finally revealed. It shows a UFO changing shape/orientation, accompanied by a small orb and probably entering a river in Colores during Operation Saucer. Almost 30 frames from 6 film trails from Sergeant Flavio leaked material in 80s were finally released by a source linked to the military's family. Y'all, and it is truly mind-blowing. Let me know in the comments what you think about this.
Essa fonte é idônea e teve acesso a esse material original. Depois de quase 50 anos, eles estão prejudicados pelo tempo, mas mesmo com muitos ruídos em sua revelação, tivemos a oportunidade de restaurar digitalmente as imagens e fazer algo a mais. Evidências apontam que esse registro é um fotograma de um filme em Super 8 e com ele em mãos tivemos a oportunidade de reproduzir artisticamente esse filme, que retrata o que era frequentemente testemunhado pelos agentes da aeronáutica. Essa é a reprodução de um desses encontros.
I find it fascinating. I also find it fascinating that we can take old film and like make it come back to life. I think it's so cool. And what else is cool is like if you're someone who happens to restore film, who knows, one day you may be restoring old film from a damaged camera and you may unearth evidence of alien life. Our next credible UFO sighting comes from NASA themselves, and it's actually a shocking clip. It's one of those clips that stunned many people upon its release. To quote the UAP doctor on Twitter, the NASA video that turned millions into UFO believers. Storms below the clouds, a few shooting stars, then an enormous object glides across Earth's horizon. Still unexplained, still official. Check this out. What baffles me about that clip is that we really don't have an explanation. And usually NASA's the first to be like, oh, debris or like ice particle. They just have no explanation for that because that thing is huge. It's obviously not a friggin' ice particle. Next, it's one of my favorite clips. It's a clip of UFOs entering the Popo volcano in Mexico. And yes, I'm going to say Popo because I can't pronounce that name, even though I do speak Spanish. No, it's not happening. Still, I find it super credible because UFOs entering volcanoes is actually something we know about. It's something that happens eerily often, like way too often, and we see videos of it all the time. I feel like there's not enough questions raised about that. Still, I love this particular clip because you see the UFO come in and then have to adjust its speed and then maneuver to come back and then go into the volcano, which is mind-blowing and anomalous in and of itself. Smash like and check this out. like, what are they doing? What are they doing in the volcano? How are they surviving the volcano? Are they trying to erupt it? Are they trying to prevent it from erupting? Are they just gathering energy? Is there a base down there? Because I know we can't go. Like, what the hell's going on there? Next, we have actually a much more recent clip. This occurred July 28th in Colombia. Posted by Truth Poll, it captures a orb UFO literally coming up from the mountain and flying across the sky. I think that's the best way to describe it. Let me know in the comments what you think about this.
Bueno, este es el orbe de Salento, vean. Ay, se ve plateado con negro. Está cambiando de colores allá en el cielo. No, no es un globo definitivamente porque el viento está en la otra dirección, está hacia el cañón.
Sí, si no bajaría.
Now, don't get me wrong, it's super cool. I don't want to yuck anyone's yum. I like it, but I wish they could have zoomed in more or gotten more detail. Although I get it, because then if you digital zoom, it'll pixelate, so it'll ruin the quality. Like, I get it. I just wish we had more details. Now, I have another UFO clip for you guys that is going to blow your mind. It is absolutely stunning, and you're going to be left speechless at the fact that this is the actual recording of that actual UFO and just the way that it looks. But before we jump into that, I do want to touch on the fact that Trump actually talked about the New Jersey UFO incident recently. Like, it really shocked me. And what he had to say about it was very, very interesting. I want you guys to hear it for yourself. Let me know what you think about this in the comments below.
I wanted to ask you about drones. We had the issue in New Jersey before the election where there are all these people thought UFOs or an attack of the killer drones. And I believe you're doing something about.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
I know who. I can't tell you who it was and what it was, but yeah. I can't really tell you. I'd love to tell you actually, but it's not a big deal.
It's
but,
not something frightening.
No, but I just, so obviously it's something that I know about, and it's not a problem at all.
It was legal.
Oh yeah, that was legal.
Now it's all fine and dandy. He's saying it's nothing we should worry about. He's saying that they know what it is, which is a complete turnaround from when the situation was happening. But that's another story in and of itself. What I found interesting, I don't know if you guys caught, that he said, what was the exact wording? He was like, oh, I can't, it's not up to, he was going to say, it's not up to me, but he stopped himself and was like, it's not a big deal. And then she was like, oh, it's not something that we should be afraid of. Watch it again, the way that he pauses, it's almost like, well, if it's not up to you, who is it up to? Who's telling the president what he can't talk about? And it really makes you wonder about power structures and just how deep this UFO secret goes. Now, the UFO clip that you've been waiting for. It's absolutely wild and stunning. This is Carlos Diaz's insane UFO sighting, and so that I don't get the details wrong, let me quote from UFO Secret Files. Carlos Diaz, a Mexican photographer, recorded one of the best UFO UAP footages of our time. The craft is fully powered up, and you can even see it adjusting itself. The photographs he made were proven to be genuine by multiple experts. What he captured that night is truly remarkable, and in my opinion, truly mesmerizing. Check out this clip. He even gives a few words himself, which I think is fantastic, but this UFO is just wow.
No, there's a direct interaction between the object and the tree. The tree vibrates, obviously touched by the energy field of the craft. And the glow of the craft slightly illuminates both the tree and the bush. This footage is real.
Stop.
After a careful measurement, we found the tree to be 35 feet wide, with a distance of 345 feet from the camera. Therefore, the craft was at least 60 feet in diameter. What causes this strange luminosity? We still don't know, but one who might have had an answer was the late Colonel Philip Corso, a member of the National Security Council under President Eisenhower and head of the U.S. Army Foreign Technology Desk.
What you are seeing here, I told Diaz, is a flying saucer with its energy, propulsion energy on and going someplace. Either it's going or coming or accelerating. These colors are part of the guidance propulsion system. He took the pictures he had him. He never knew what this, well, he couldn't know an explanation like this. The explanation had to come from something like I was in, research and development, knowing about what they were, knowing what the guidance system was, knowing the type of propulsion systems, and knowing what was in space. Otherwise, a nice fellow like Diaz would have never known this. He had to be saved maybe on the level that I was on. But more likely you would have been attacked by debunkers saying, oh, you don't know what you're doing. But you had something real here and never knew it.
Carlos Diaz documents are very important because they show a different category of intelligence, what could be called the bioplasmic form of intelligence that is even beyond the extraterrestrial, which is using metallurgical or physical spacecraft. Here we have seen by computer enhancements of the film actual realities suggesting that this is a vehicle form that can change its shape, size, geometry in any number of ways. We are seeing in the Carlos Diaz material a whole new category of the UFO experience. We are going beyond the extraterrestrial into what could be called the ultra-terrestrial intelligence that is existing in a pure energy state.
Did you see that? Now, what's crazy about that clip is that this is actually a confirmed sighting from within the military through all the leaks and stuff that's coming out. And anytime that they talk about it, because they've told us about it, they use a CGI and the craft is like much thinner and like orange and like you can tell. But to see the actual clip, that yellow, how it looked wild, fully powered on. Could you imagine seeing that in the sky? That's great. That's so freaking cool. And if you want to see more cool UFO videos, check them out right there. Check out the paranormal videos, reading writing videos, and blow your mind with the Mandela Effect videos.